But there's people out there that write to him and say, we know your zodiac. And I'm like, damn, you guys are trying too hard.
Well, they tried to say that about Ted Cruz, too, but, that turned out
he said that about himself, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, so Shirley Vian, who was 26, was discovered dead with her hands and feet, of course, bound, and a bag over her head. The bag method seems to work, I'll tell you that. BTK's signature cord was wrapped around her neck, and her 3 children were unharmed, apparently due to a phone call, and BTK left the scene without murdering the children. Weren't they locked in another room? And I thought that they had snuck out a bathroom window or something.
Yeah, they were in a bathroom. He locked them in the bathroom, and it didn't have a lock, but he tied it up. He made it so that they couldn't get out. And it was like, if I forget how old. I think it was 8, 6, and something like that. And there was a real small little window, and the oldest was able to get the window open and get everybody out.
Yeah, it was a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think he would have killed them if he had the chance?
I don't see why not.
I mean,
but that's just
I'm trying to figure out if some of these killings of the kids were circumstantial because they saw him, or if it's, in your opinion, if this is just one of those things where, like they got in the way type of situation. These kids weren't technically in the way. I don't know if he was wearing a mask on this night because he did at various times and then he didn't at other times. So I was just curious if he would have gone through with killing them too, or if he got the victim he wanted and that would have been it. But, I mean, obviously he didn't have a problem with killing kids. I just don't know if they were the targets. So that's something that's always made me wonder.
Yeah, I mean, with Otero and Josie hanging from that seemed planned. That seemed like he did it on purpose. He took her specifically away from everybody else and then hung her up in the room. Whereas the 9-year-old was near his mother, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, 9 months later, December 9th, 1977, you get the murder of 25-year-old Nancy Fox. And I don't know shit about this one, but it was phoned into the investigators by BTK. Anybody can shed any light on the Nancy Fox murder? Because this is one that I don't know a lot about. Yeah,
that was the one where he actually called 911, and they traced him. So at Wichita at that time was actually
just getting caller ID, right?
Yeah, they were experimenting with caller ID, so they got it, and they were actually at where the phone was within a few minutes, but he had already left. And then they went to the house, and then they found the wires cut and stuff, and then they knew it was in there. So, but yeah, I mean, they were pretty close to catching him there.
Was this another bag over the head one? Because I can't remember. Like I said, I don't remember this one.
She was bound. She was bound to the bed, and she complied with him. Like he ordered to do that to have her disrobe, I think. Completely disrobed, and then she was bound to the bed, and that's where she was killed. And he said that I think he actually told her that, she
was going to be next. Yeah,
she was going to be next, right? Yeah.
To back up real quick with Shirley Vian, she was the one that was sick the day that he broke in, right? She was sick in her room, and like he had kind of forced his way in. I think that was her, right? And then ended up killing her. It was kind of a fucked up situation. But anyway, January 31st, 1978, BTK mailed a letter to the Wichita Eagle containing a poem, Shirley Locks, about Shirley Vian, which was fucked up. So, he's continuing this off and on correspondence with the police, like a lot of, well, I don't know if it's a lot, but like a few of the other serial killers out there that did this type of shit. They like fucking with the police a little bit. They like seeing, if they're smarter than the police, and they got that. Yeah.
I hate to interrupt. Sorry, there's a delay on this side, but didn't he write the poem to Anna Williams, not Shirley Vian?
See, he wrote Shirley Locks though. That was one that he wrote about Shirley Vian.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because he did it a couple times. Because Anna Williams was later on. She was a widow. It was older. So I guess I just got them confused. I'm sorry.
That's all good. He wrote Shirley based on the nursery rhyme Curly Locks, and well, if you all want to hear it, I can do it. She actually sung in the church choir let's see. Yeah. Anyway, I'd have to fucking find this thing, but yeah, it was about her. But I know he wrote some other shit, and in prison he wrote a lot. He thought he was a lot more interesting than what he actually was. But yeah, he wrote a poem to the police about Shirley at that time. But yeah, I'm sure he did others too. So, February 10th, 1978, BTK writes another letter to a television station this time. Again, reminds me of Zodiac, announcing his victim count. Again, reminds me of Zodiac, so far to be 7. And he blamed his crimes on a demon. Now I'm feeling like we're in Berkowitz territory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems very similar at this point. And I guess Ramirez a little bit. And fuck, we could go on and on. Is it, what's the guy's name from, Richard Chase actually said something about that. And hell, even the Gainesville Ripper said something like that. So I don't know what these dudes are with this whole demon shit. They're probably raised too religious, if you ask me. Okay, so you're right here now, Blake. April 28th, 1979, BTK sends a letter to Anna Williams, who's 63, in which he also included one of her scarves, apparently stolen from her home, because previously he had actually broken into her home. He was going to kill her, but she didn't come home that night, so he just fucking left, telling her to be glad she didn't come home because he had been waiting for her inside. Now, Anna Williams was so freaked out by this, and basically, if I were her, I would do the same thing. She fucking moved the hell out of Wichita. I can't blame her, especially at 63 years old. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Right?
So this college-going motherfucker, that same year, in 1979, he actually graduates Wichita State University with a BA in Administration of Justice. Reminds me of Kemper. I mean, I know Kemper didn't have anything like that, but, like, Johnny, you're the Kemper expert. I mean, Kemper wanted to be a cop, right?
Yeah, he loved being a cop. He loved the thought of being a cop. He never really ran it down, but yeah, he loved the way that whole culture was.
Exactly. So from a 25-year class reunion questionnaire in 1984, Rader wrote that he attended Kansas Wesleyan and Butler County Community College before Wichita State. Like I said, he's a college-going motherfucker. So he went all over the place as far as college goes. I don't know what the point was, but June 79, he actually sends a poem, sketches, and jewelry to a woman in whose home he had hidden in earlier, waiting for her to return, and then also sends a similar package to KAKE-TV. And I want to get into this a little bit. We're getting these gaps now in the killings, and BTK claims that he trolled, he broke in a couple times, and he didn't get to accomplish his task of killing these people, or his projects, as he likes to call them. Because he thought he was like a fucking secret agent or something. But he didn't get to accomplish these because something would happen, and he just wasn't able to go through with it. I think it's interesting because, when everybody talks about BTK, they assume that this gap was planned, and I don't think it was. I think he just never was able to, like, cash in the way he wanted to each time, during these gaps. Plus, he had a family life now. Yep,
he did. He was settling down. He was becoming members of the society, but he was more compelled. Like, he called it demons. The one quote was about that. He thought he was fell on his head as a child because he had demons with him, right?
Yeah. That's another thing that people, and obviously nobody knows if it was a factor, but he had head injuries as a kid. That's another factor that people like to talk about as far as possible causes for these things. So I'm sure he'll get the dissection of the brain when he dies, and we'll figure out if there's anything there to go off of. But, that same month he sends a poem. His daughter's born June 13th, 1979. Daughter Carrie is born when he's 34 years old. So this dude's having kids, writing letters to the cops, breaking into people's houses. Busy time. But this is here comes the biggest gap so far, as far as complete silence. I mean, I guess because he has 2 kids now, he's busy as shit. I know how that is. But, like, do you guys have anything as far as BTK between, like, June 79 and April 85? Because I know nothing. Like, he must be, like, completely radio silence dead at this point.
Right, he was. He would go dark, and that's the reason why he stayed. That's why they didn't catch him. It took him so long.
He was afraid that they were getting on. His paranoia was getting the best of him. He was afraid that they were going to catch on to him. That's why he took a break, I guess, to throw them off his trail. Now, he still probably did his trolling, as he always said that he did, but he was very careful about it during that time.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me because we don't see this very often, and so he's kind of an anomaly in that way. But April 27th, 1985, Maureen Hedge, 53, she's abducted from her home in Park City, a few doors down from Rader's home. And then the body of Maureen Hedge is found May 5th, 1985, in a roadside ditch. Pretty fucked up. I mean, he was starting off, he was killing people and leaving them in the home. Now he's like taking them with him and dumping them. So things are changing a little bit for him, but it's still pretty much the MO as far as the murder goes. He goes quiet for another year now. September 16th, 1986, Vicki Wegerly, who's 28, she's found strangled in her home, and her son was unharmed. Anybody know why that is? I assume he got interrupted. I'm pretty sure that's what he had said to the judge when he talked to him. Yeah. Again, this is why I'm saying maybe like the kids aren't the main target. I'm sure that he enjoyed killing them too, but I think the women were the main target, and the kids just kind of came along with it.
Well, yeah, I mean he masturbated near the women, right?
Yeah. Usually, except for the 11-year-old, fucking weirdo.
Well, no. He did near the 11-year-old, right? Near the pipe, right?
No, yeah, I was agreeing. I'm just saying that an 11-year-old's not really a woman, so that's the sick part for me.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
not that it's okay either way, but you get my point. It's just like another level of creepiness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. October. Halloween, 1987, Halloween Day. Shannon Olson, who was 15, was found in the pond of an industrial park, bound and stabbed multiple times. I don't know a lot about this one either. I thought he had only stabbed one of them, but apparently Shannon Olson was stabbed too. I know jack shit about Shannon Olson. But maybe it's one of those things where they're trying to tie it to BTK and they're not sure. I'm going to check real quick.
I know that I know when he was interviewed, he claimed 7 kills, even though he was arrested for 10.
Yeah. I don't know if it's ever been confirmed that. I mean, she lived about 2 blocks north of the home where Shirley Vian died, so I think it's kind of I think it would be pretty obvious that it would be her. I mean, that it would be him that did it, but I don't know if they have ever gotten confirmation of that. Well, on New Year's Eve, 1987, 2 months later, you get 3 members of the Fager family who were found bound and strangled in their residence. And then soon afterwards, Mary Fager received a letter thought to be from BTK, said they had not committed the murders, but that he admired the work. Interesting. I mean, it's hard to believe that there's other people in Wichita doing this shit, Not a big city.
That's true. It's true. You wouldn't, but with you had in Santa Clara, you had, which would be kind of weird, right? And so Santa Clara, you had Ed Kemper and
True. California's fucked up though. Let's admit that. I mean, look at all the people that have gone, that have come from there.
It does. It's a big state, so
Just call him a spade a spade.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. He was a Census Bureau collector in 1989. A year later, he was employed as a compliance supervisor for Park City, Kansas. And then January.
One of the weird things I thought about him was, he was with ADT until
84, 88,
88, right? And then he became so there wasn't any reason. I don't understand the reason why he left there, whether or not it was of his doing. He was there a while.
Didn't he say they cut him, but in reality he was fired or something? That's what I thought had happened. He made some excuse, but it sounded like he was fired.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have a confirmation about what happened there. Then he went into to work for
The Census Bureau.
For Census Bureau, right? So again, they